Enjoy live interviews and solo sessions with experts in business and health, featuring your host, Dr. Alex Rosa. Let's get into today's episode. Welcome to In Your Business with Dr. Alex, where we get all up in your business and your health. Enjoy live interviews and solo sessions with experts in business and health, featuring your host, Dr. Alex Rosa. Let's get into today's episode.
Hey, welcome to today's episode of In Your Business with Dr. Alex. So let's get right to the elephant in the room. I'm going to talk about my face today. I'm going to talk about crazy high blood pressures. I'm going to talk to you about what just actually happened to me earlier today, because I've been at the urgent care all morning, and actually I wasn't even going to make a video. So this is going to be part little showing up in your business and talking about consistency and all that. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about your blood pressure and how to get better readings. So sometimes if you're going to the doctor and you're getting some crazy high readings, or maybe you've heard of that white coat syndrome, maybe you get white coat syndrome and your blood pressure readings are just all crazy. We're going to talk about that today. And I'm going to talk about some better ways to monitor your own blood pressure at home and some things that you can suggest to your provider if you're finding yourself having these really high readings every time you go to the doctor, but then when you're checking yourself at home, your readings are fine, because I know that is my situation too. But there's a couple things that we can look out for that you can fix. So you can definitely learn something today. So my name is Dr. Alex Rosa. I'm the founder and creator of Spice and the 90-Day Metabolic Makeover, and I'm an expert in all things intermittent fasting and metabolic health. And I teach women 40 plus how to lose fat, balance their hormones, and get it on with the lights on. And I wanted to make today's video, like I wasn't even going to come on today because of my whole face situation. So we're about to talk about this, but I have pink eye. So my little one, I have a 5-year-old. I have a 5-year-old, 15, almost 16, and an 18-year-old. And so my 5-year-old, he got pink eye the other day. So day before yesterday, he got pink eye. And the next day, so yesterday, I started noticing my eye get a little bit red there. And then just yesterday evening, I went to the gym with my husband. So I still went to the gym, even though my eye was kind of looking a little funky and stuff. And still went to the gym, and I got on the bike and I was going. And within like 40 minutes of being on the bike, my eye had like totally swollen shut. And I was like, oh shit, this is bad. This is not good. And so I went to the urgent care earlier this morning, and she told me that I probably have cellulitis, so an infection, a bacterial infection in the tissues around my eye. So you can see it's really swollen like this. It hurts a lot. It's really hot. I definitely have pink eye in both of my eyes. And so she wanted me to go see the eye specialist, but they couldn't get me in today. So I have to go tomorrow morning to the eye specialist. And she gave me some drops and some pills, some antibiotics to take. But at first I was thinking like, oh shit. I was like, how am I going to show up live and make videos? Because a part of my business and a part of me showing up and being consistent is coming online and making videos. And I had all these videos planned for this week. And I was like, damn, now I can't make my videos. That's what I was thinking earlier today. But then I was like, Alex, your eye didn't stop you from going to the gym yesterday, right? So why should it be any different? So this is kind of a message to all my other people out there. If you're going to be consistent and you're going to do something and you say you're going to do things, then do it. It's my eye. And a lot of people are like, oh, just go home and rest and take it easy and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, I could do that, but it's my eye. It's not my mouth. It's not my throat. It's not my lungs. It's not my legs. It's not anything else. Like, I'm fine. It's just my eyes. So I'm going to come and make a video. And yeah, I might look a little crazy. My eyes might be swollen and whatnot, but I still have information I want to share, information I want to bring to people. So I'm still going to do that. I'm still going to show up. And so often, this translates into other parts of your life. So often we let little things, little setbacks stop us from doing what we want to do. Like I easily could have not went to the gym yesterday because my eye looked funky. I could have totally, I wiped down my machine and everything. I did all the things I needed to do, but I could have easily just not went yesterday and be like, oh, my eye, oh, and not gone to the gym. No, Alex, girl, there's nothing wrong with your legs, nothing's wrong with your arms. Like you can go to the gym, it's fine. Same thing with today. I could talk, I could speak, I could click, I could turn a camera on, I can convey a message, I can teach just fine, even if my eyes are all messed up. It's more of like an image, right? It's more of me wanting to be like, oh, Alex, you want to look nice on video. So your eyes messed up, maybe not make videos. And I was really not going to make a video. But then I was like, fuck that. I'll go make a video. I don't care if my eye's swollen. It's real life. My eye is swollen. It's fine. It's totally fine. So don't let little things set you back in your life and shit that you want to do. It's fine. It's all in our heads. We're always our worst enemy and we're always stopping ourselves from progressing and doing things. So that's a little side note about my face. So if you see my face for the next couple of days, it's going to be swollen and it's going to look crazy, but it's not going to stop me from delivering a message and teaching. Okay. So we're going to get into blood pressure because my blood pressure when they took it today was crazy high, like really high. But there was a couple mistakes that they made. And so I want to talk about these because more than likely these mistakes are being made to you when you go to the doctor's office. If you find yourself having high blood pressure readings, or maybe even after one reading, your doctor's like, oh, your blood pressure's high, let's put you on some medicine. If that's happened to you, go ahead and leave a thing in the chat if that's happened to you or somebody you know, because I know that's happened to me plenty of times. But unfortunately for me, my blood pressure did progress to a point where I needed to be on 2, almost 3 medications for my blood pressure. And I really needed to do some work on my blood pressure because I was very sick. I was like 140s, 150s, 160s, over 90s, 100s. Like I had severe hypertension, but it was related to my weight. It was health related. It was related to how much weight I was carrying. So that's that. But if you go in and sometimes at home, like you're taking your blood pressure, I always advocate for people to take their blood pressures at home. Okay. You want to know what your blood pressure is, whether or not you have high blood pressure or not. You want to know what your blood pressure is. So I know for me, I monitor my blood pressure every single day. You might see me take little pictures of my watch because I'm always monitoring my blood pressure. I'm always wanting to know what it is. And so I know when I'm at home and I'm doing normal things, my blood pressure is within normal. It's like 120s, 120s, over 70s, 60s. That's where I kind of fall now. That's my baseline. So it's always important to know what your baseline is, where your blood pressures run normally throughout the day. So this is called ambulatory blood pressures. You want to be able to monitor your blood pressures throughout the day. That's going to give you a more accurate reading. That's going to give you a more accurate baseline for yourself. Because what happens when we go to the doctor, like we're in a different environment, we're anxious, something's going on. Most of the time we're sick, right? We got pain, we're swollen, we're not feeling too good, we're not feeling too pretty. So that's going to affect our blood pressure. So that's one thing, that emotional status and the anxiety that comes with being in a different environment. That's one thing. But also another thing is that I noticed that they did to me today, and that I know because this always happens now, is that one, they did not use the right size blood pressure cuff. So many times they think they have a one size fits all blood pressure cuff. It might say adult large, and they think they could use that shit on everybody. But no, everybody's arms are different. And my arms are big on top. I have bigger arms. So for me, I need the extra large blood pressure cuff. Well, this chick that was doing my blood pressure did not do that. She just used the large blood pressure cuff. So what happens when you use a blood pressure cuff that is too small for the person, because when we were taught in school, you have to measure that. You really do. You're supposed to measure it, and it has sizes on it for a reason on those different blood pressure cuffs. So if you use a blood pressure cuff that is too small, it's going to squeeze too tight and it's going to give you an elevated reading. So my blood pressure was super high because this chick just put that blood pressure cuff on me. Even though she could barely Velcro that thing closed, she still put it on and ran it and went with that number. That number was not correct at all. So what happened was when the physician came in, she had to manually do my blood pressure. And that is the best way to get an accurate blood pressure, is to manually have one. So when you're going to the doctor and they're taking your blood pressure, make sure that they're using the right size cuff for you. So if you know you have a bigger arm, make sure they're using an extra large or double XL cuff on your arm. Maybe are they going to have to do a little walk and go get a bigger cuff? Yeah, that's not going to kill them though, but they should be doing that because that will give them the most accurate reading. It's going to give you the most accurate reading. Likewise, if you have a smaller arm, you want to make sure they're using like a small size cuff on you, because if they use too large of a cuff, you're going to have a lower reading. The reading's going to be really out of whack. So same thing applies. So making sure that they're using the right size cuff. So it should wrap around your arm and it should fit snugly, and it shouldn't be like tight to pull together. It should fit you snugly. So for me, it was way too tight. This girl couldn't even barely close it, and then she was still trying to run it. So my reading was extremely elevated. So next thing is you want them to do a manual blood pressure on you. So that's when you get the little stethoscope. I got my little stethoscope there, and we do a manual blood pressure. So we put the cuff on, we listen, and we get a manual blood pressure reading. That is the most accurate way. And for me, when I go, that is the way that I prefer them to do it. And they always have to come back and redo it that way, because that gives me the most accurate reading. You want to have a provider that knows how to use the stethoscope, that knows how to do a manual blood pressure reading. Let me tell you. And if they got staff in their office, please make sure that they can do a manual blood pressure. The people rely so much on technology, and I love me some technology, but you still have to be able to do the basics. Doing a manual blood pressure is the fucking basic 101. Somebody needs to be doing that on you. That is the most accurate reading that you're going to get. So make sure that they can do a manual blood pressure reading, and I prefer a manual blood pressure reading for myself. It's way more accurate. So those are some things to look out for. And also how you are sitting. So when you're getting your blood pressure done at the doctor's office, you want to make sure that you are sitting there, your legs are straight, not crossed, and that you're sitting upright, and that your arm is extended, and that it's just relaxed. And you're relaxed and you're breathing. You're not chit-chatting, you're not talking, you're not on your phone, you're not nothing. Just focus on nice, slow, deep breaths while you're getting your blood pressure taken. This applies also when you're taking your blood pressure at home. You want to be cognizant of the fact of what position you're in when you're taking your blood pressure. So we actually, in the healthcare setting, we can do orthostatic blood pressures. Those are some for different types of situations. We can do those where you'll be sitting, laying down, and standing when we take these blood pressures. But when you're at home, you want to make sure that you're consistent in how you measure your blood pressure. So what position you're in. So whether you're laying down in bed, you want to make note of that and try to lay down and take your blood pressure the same way, because your blood pressure will fluctuate from laying down to sitting to standing. So you want to be knowing what position you're in all the time and taking note of that, and try to be consistent with that. So if you sit when you take your blood pressure, make sure you're sitting all the time when you take your blood pressure. That's going to give you the most accurate reading across all of those, and be consistent with it. So if you're sitting, same thing at home. You want to be sitting in a nice chair, extend your arm, have it nice and relaxed, and just slow, deep breathing. No talking, no chit-chatting. Don't have the kids jumping all over you while you're trying to get your blood pressure. Just sit and relax. And that's the best way to measure your blood pressure, and try to do that every single time. And so that's kind of how I teach my clients when they're at home to take their blood pressure. That is the best way to do it. So when you're at the doctor's office, a lot of times, I can't even tell you how many times they try to talk to you, right? They're trying to go through your history and ask your allergies and all the things while you're getting your blood pressure taken. And it's like, no, it's quiet time now. It's quiet time. Wait till it's done. You can wait like the minute or so while the blood pressure thing goes to get a blood pressure. So that's another important fact to be aware of when you're getting their blood pressure. So all those things keep in mind, because a lot of times it happens. You'll go to the doctor and you'll get all anxious and you're all jittery. My daughter gets like that. She has a lot of anxiety when she goes to the doctor. Just relax, take some deep breaths. If they get a high reading the first time, please, they should be coming back at the end of the visit and retaking your blood pressure and seeing if that improves your numbers a little bit. That'll give you a better idea. And if your blood pressure is elevated when you're at the doctor's office and they are concerned and they want to move forward, really advocate for yourself. Jumping to medication straight out the gate is not always the best idea. Okay. You want to look at other things like lifestyle modifications. What's making your blood pressure high, right? Because our blood pressure just isn't high for no reason. So what is causing that? Getting to the root cause. Again, functional medicine, what I do, getting to the root cause. What is causing your blood pressure to be so high? Is it stress? Is it anxiety? Is it pain? Is it an infection? Is it some type of illness that you're there for? Is it your weight? Is it your diet? What is it that is causing your blood pressure to be high? And then addressing that, because if you can fix that, then you can fix the blood pressure without having to go on some fucking medication. That's what we want. So addressing those issues first. So have them come back, have them look at those lifestyle things, ask some more questions, have them talk to you a little bit more, or you speak up for yourself and you advocate for yourself and say, hey, so some other things we can look at, like, hey, I got 3 kids at home, 4 kids, whatever. I'm pretty stressed out. I think that maybe is why my blood pressure is up. What can I come back? Can I monitor it? Right. So the next step would be monitoring your own blood pressure. Get some type of meter to measure your blood pressure at home. You can go to Amazon. You can go to anywhere. You can get one of these cool watches like how I have that I use all the time. It's so convenient because I could just take my blood pressure whenever I want. Find a way to monitor your blood pressure at home to know your baseline. Again, know what's normal for you. And then take that information, right? Save it, take it. Technology is great, right? Because we can download things and put things into a spreadsheet depending on how fancy you want to be. Collect that information and then take that with you to your provider the next time you go. Go in about 2 weeks, I would say, of some good monitoring of your blood pressure at home throughout the day, right? Different times a day, and see how your blood pressure fluctuates. And maybe you'll start to notice some things about yourself and about your routines and about your habits and some things that are impacting your blood pressure that maybe you didn't realize. Maybe there's certain things, parts of the day that trigger your blood pressure to be higher. Maybe there's certain parts of your day where you're noticing that, hey, that happened and I was chill, I was calm, my blood pressure was good, my heart rate was good. So being able to find that rhythm of your life and when your blood pressure rises and when it falls, that'll give you a better idea of your body and how it responds to things. And then you can better formulate a little plan for yourself and go back empowered with this information and be able to talk with your provider and come up with a plan that'll work for both of you so that it can steer you in the right direction and hopefully not be on medication and not be prescribed medication and head off a lot of things before you get into trouble with that, because high blood pressure is nothing to mess around with. High blood pressure leads to valvular damage. It leads to damage of your veins and your arteries. It can lead to heart enlargement, heart failure. Oh my gosh, guys, like I dealt with heart failure and stuff. It's not fun. And I've taken care of thousands of patients with heart failure. It's extremely scary. That can happen to you. You can have a lot of problems with your lower extremities and your legs and the circulation down there, stroke, heart attack, all those things. You're not getting blood to your organs and they're not functioning properly. Honey, your sex life is going to suffer horribly from mismanaged high blood pressure if you let it get to that point. So don't do that. Save yourself the trouble. Just start monitoring your blood pressure and pinpointing what is the cause of the blood pressure and making sure that when you go to the doctor, when you go see your healthcare provider, that they're monitoring your blood pressure in the right way, that they're taking it the right way, and then that they're taking that information and having a conversation with you about it and letting you know what your options are. Okay. So if you learned something in today's video, let me know in the chat what you learned if you're watching it live or on the replay. And again, I'm still going to show up and make my videos no matter what I look like, no matter what might be going on with my face, because it's the message that matters. It's the information that matters. All right. And I keep it real and I show up. If I want to say I'm going to make some videos, I'm going to make some videos. I'm not going to let that stop me. And you shouldn't let little things in your life stop you from you want to accomplish and what you want to do. Okay. Like I said, it's just my eye. It's not my arms, it's not my legs, it's not my lungs, it's not my heart, it's not anything else. It's just my eye. I can work through that. I can work through it just fine. All right, guys, that's all I have in today's episode. And like I always say, for balanced life, just add spice.